Okay, so I got a few new supplies and I thought I would experiment with them, and I decided to draw a cubone. So this is where we ended up with, and I really like the swooshies that I created. I like the action pose, but I thought we can bring it even further. So today we are drawing Pokemon, because then we don't have to think about the design and we can just focus on backgrounds or storytelling or action poses, and yeah, let's see how that goes. So, before I tackled my next piece, I decided to write down what I liked or didn't like, or what I wanted to change for this one, just so I am a bit more prepared for the next piece and can really make the next one pop and have it look nicer than the one before. Okay, so first sketch is done. I really wanted to make it feel like he's falling. I might tweak some stuff a little bit, but yeah, we have like these actiony lines and like the fire bone that he's holding. With colors, I think it will be easier to read, but yeah, I kind of like this. Maybe I could have made it a little bit more intense like here, but I think it's okay. So now we have to figure out what we're doing for the second one. I'm not sure I will do that today, but yeah, he's crying. Okay, so I'm done with both of them. I decided to do the Mega Dragonite evolution, and I really like the composition. I haven't decided on like action lines, but definitely maybe some feathers or something going around. Also, another thing I'm trying to do is actually sketch in my sketchbook instead of like doing finished pieces, because I guess that's what they're for. In the end, I decided to show you guys only one of the pieces. I did do the Dragonite, but I wasn't fully satisfied with it. So if you want to see the finished piece, I did share it on my Patreon, but today we will just focus on the Marowak actually, because this is not Cubone. I decided to switch them because of colors. Almost done with the sketch here, and I don't know if you can see, but this is like kind of the color scheme I'm going with. But since we have a limited color palette, palette in a way. Like, this is what we're working with. We will see how close we can get to it, but I think there's like 90 colors, so I think we'll be fine. Plus, I will refine it digitally because I really want it to be like the swooshes, I guess, that they come forward as well. That's why I chose this kind of pose. So yeah, let's hope we can get where we want to be. I decided to start off with the background, which will be a very simple one with just this black color. Just because I really wanted everything to have like a really good contrast and the Marowak to pop off of everything. So I decided, you know what, let's keep it simple because I was thinking, should we like add something more to it? But since I'm trying to do things that I normally don't do, I thought this would be perfect because usually I stray away from black. I think it's very bold, but for this it really works. Another thing I was trying to do with the black background is to make sure that the streaks or strokes of the markers all go towards the face, since you can see them, and I could have gone for another layer, but I thought it was fine. But spoiler alert, in the end I did go over with acrylic paints just because I wanted the black to be a little bit more of like this dark blue toned, just to tie everything together. And these Arrtx markers, I think Arrtx markers always, or any acrylic marker to be fair, they don't really have like really deep dark colors, so I didn't really have any other color to mix this black with. Also, I did get them sent to me, but this isn't sponsored, and I just decided to challenge myself and do this piece mostly with the provided materials. But as you heard before, I did use some other things to enhance it a little bit more, and I will also finish it off digitally because I really wanted to feel super flowy, super like in depth. But some of them did feel a bit more dry. Maybe it's because it's very warm outside these days, and I wasn't using them when the heat really took hold. So it was a bit. It was hot in the studio. I decided to make this Marowak a little bit more blue than brown. There are two reasons why. Just because the Cubone I kind of did more with warm tones, so I wanted to switch it up a bit. But I also thought with the colors that I wanted to make, it would be nicer to make this more bluish, because I thought it would be fun to have this green light coming from the bones or fire also come from the top, and also have this purple light coming from the back. And I thought that that would be cool and kind of light up the Marowak in an interesting way. I strayed away from lighting up places that technically the fire should like reflect on the Marowak, just because I thought then it would be harder to distinguish the shapes, and that it could start to get a bit noisy. You can see for the hand where he's holding the bone, I did add some reflective lighting from the fire, but that's basically the only part that I did that. In other places, I just played with the purple lighting. You might be thinking, why is this Marowak sad? Why is he crying? And I thought it would be fun to add this little piece, but also I just like adding sad characters, sad crying things. Anyways, but this ties into the story. I was thinking like he's falling because he just lost the battle. That's why we see the shattered skull and also I was thinking in a more positive way that if we have this main character energy where this is the moment where he would have like kind of a boost, and we would just see like this huge transformation and he would win the fight, so we're just seeing the before, and here you can see me applying the acrylic, because I thought I wanted a little bit more depth. I did change his design on the skull. I just thought it would be cute to have a little star on top of it. I think I showed you at the start that I already had like the colors picked out. So basically after I did the sketch, I scanned it and I put it in Procreate just to quickly figure out the colors so I didn't have to go off of nothing. So I tried a few color combos and decided upon this purple greenish theme. I think this is always my favorite part, to really define the swooshes, the action aligns a bit more. It's just so fun and you don't really have to think too much about it. So that's what I did here. And I also went over with the acrylic gel pens, and I really like how they work. They're very smooth, but the only problem is you can't really go over, like you can't really layer with them, so you have to be careful where you put them. So it truly is like the last part that you do. I didn't do too much for the digital rendering. That is also why I chose Procreate instead of Clip Studio Paint, because Clip Studio Paint I usually do for full pieces, for starting from basically nothing, doing my digital pieces. But since we already have this huge base that we're working with, then I just thought Procreate would be a little bit faster. And whenever I scan my pieces, then sometimes the colors can feel a bit more flat, especially the dark black colors. So I had to go over that because it was kind of losing its color because of the shine from the scanner. So I'm just going over with some of the colors with a little bit more contrast, with a little bit more saturation as well. But I also was just defining things that I thought weren't really working as well. Like for example, for the bones, I wanted the silhouette to be a little bit more noticeable. And here as well, I'm fixing the arm just so it's not clashing in with the silhouette, just because again, I want it to be more in depth, and I will fix that soon. I decided to add some Gaussian blur and add a bit more swooshes at the front so that it truly makes it look like we're falling with Marowak, we're moving, or the Marowak is moving. So yeah, there weren't a lot of refining left, but I just added those tiny little things to make it pop out a bit more. And at the end of this, I will show you basically those like differences that you can see from like the just the traditional piece to finishing up digitally. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. It was a little bit more about just one piece, but yeah, let me know what you think. And if you made it this far, comment transform to help the Marowak win the fight. But yeah, I will see you next time. Bye!
Hold me tightly like I was there, and whisper softly in your ear that everything is gonna be alright.